welcome back to another episode of Why I Love BNI, your podcast spotlighting different businesses on what they love about their business, and then, of course, their chapter and any tips they have for us newer BNI members. So I'm super excited to have my guest Claudine with us today. Claudine, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, well, Claudia and I met through a referral through another BNI member. Um, and yesterday we were just talking, and she was just telling me everything she does, which is just some really incredible stuff on top of what she does, but also some stuff she's done in her past life. So, I mean, I know this will be a really great episode. Why don't you just kind of kick us off and just tell us a little bit about what you do right now and how you help people?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I'll start off by saying I'm an internal medicine physician. So that kind of kicks off into what we're specifically we're talking about today, which is medical director at St. Augustine Spa. And I got into it in 2019. Funny enough, I actually went to the spa for a service for myself. And the owner, Dr. Donnelly, actually, we got to talking and she's like, wait, you're a doctor? And I was like, yeah. She goes, I've been looking for someone to help us with our injectables. So I said, okay, well, that sounds interesting. And I was a hospitalist at the time. So full-time hospitalist. This is right before the pandemic. So I decided, okay, well, I'll go do some training. So I went to a program and did training for the Botox, so neurotoxins and dermal fillers. And then I started just providing that service for them here and there, as needed. And then we got sucked away back to the hospital with the pandemic. And then after 2 years of pandemic, I was like, look, I'm ready for something different. So I decided to move into spending much more time at the med spa. And so since then, we've grown. We have added weight management, lasers to include tattoo removals, wrinkles reduction, microneedling, non-invasive facelifts, weight management, medical marijuana. So like we just keep adding things.
Wow.
Pretty much every few months we're adding a new service.
That's incredible. I mean, it sounds like you guys are like a one-stop shop for literally anything you could need.
That is the goal. Yes, that's the
That's so
goal.
good. So what is your role specifically?
Yeah. So as of right now, I'm medical director. So basically I'm
Mm,
on my hands are in everything medical related. So any of
wow.
the weight loss, the lasers, the microneedling, the injectables. And I'm currently actually doing a lot of those procedures myself at this point.
Wow.
So I do all the injectables and microneedling. And
That's
weight
awesome.
management. I manage the weight management. And only doctors can do medical marijuana. So I currently am doing that too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Is that a Florida thing or is that a regulation thing, like all over?
You know what? I'm not quite sure because
Okay.
federally it's still not allowed. So it is a state by state thing. So I don't know if every state requires that, but I know Florida does.
Gotcha. You learn something new every episode. There's always
Yeah.
something I'm learning that I didn't even realize was something I was gonna learn. I could
Yeah.
learn. Um, so that's so cool. Why don't you share a little bit, I guess maybe about your practice if someone's interested and they hear some of the many services you offer and go, how do I learn more? Where do I go find it? All that great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, so you can always call. Of course that you would have to know what you're looking for, I guess, when you call, but we are always happy to answer questions. That number is 904-800-4772 or 1-800-4SPA, SPA.
Oh.
Um, or staugspa.com. So STAUG.com for St. Aug Spa.
Hmm.
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have same thing, St. Aug Spa for all of that. So yeah, you can take a look at the services we have on all those platforms or give us a call.
That's so cool. Yeah, I was looking at you guys have a beautiful website, of course. If anyone has any questions, it's
Another BNI member, Thrive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then switching into the BNI topic a little bit, what brought you to BNI? Who was the first person to bring you?
Yeah, so funny enough, we were using Thrive as our website. Dr. Donnelly's husband used to be in it, so they kind of knew
Mm,
about it. And so
gotcha.
Thrive, Jeff is our website person, and so we knew he was in BNI. And then actually, funny enough, I knew the lady, I still know her. I was just talking to her this morning, actually, who had the previous spa seat.
Mm.
And she gave up her seat because she actually got so busy with training. So she actually does now training for a medical device. And so she's all over the place and just didn't have time. So I knew about it from her too. So when the spot opened up, I got a call from both another BNI guy for Arc Point Labs and Dr. Donnelly got a call from Jeff with Thrive. And then I spoke to Darcy because I knew she had the seat and that's where we came in. So
Wow, it sounds like one of those like timing is right and just like connections
yeah,
are right.
so many people knew of us that they just automatically called us. So
Yeah. So how long have you been in BNI?
I'm coming up on my first year.
Oh, congrats. Me too. I joined probably around
Oh,
the
okay.
same time as you then. So
Oh,
how has
gotcha. Yeah, I
BNI?
just sent my renewal in.
Yeah, I have to do that too. So that's a good reminder for me. So how have you seen BNI help you in your business?
Honestly, like I love it. I mean, I one of the things I love is actually almost more on a personal level too,
Mm,
because having been a hospital doctor for so long, I only met medical people. And
oh,
and that's fun, but it's nice to know other people too. So, I mean, even just on the personal level, getting to like meet 85 people from different walks of life has just been so enriching to my life. But also that like you never know like where you're gonna find those people that will become or make good referral partners, both ways. It's like I would have never thought tasting tours, for example, like in the ways that I thought we would connect, like, oh, bring a tour to the spa. And sure enough, they can do that. But moreover, like on the personal level, I'm getting a lot of referrals from just her friends and family that now know what we do. It's just
wow.
touching into like markets I would have never thought were potential places.
Yeah, that's such a great point because especially when people join BNI, I think it depends on how big your chapter is too. Like our chapter is around the same size as yours. So it's intimidating and it's scary. And you're like, how could I ever connect with these many people? How am I supposed to give referrals to, maybe this guy or that guy, right? I don't think we have any overlap, but that's really the power of those one-to-ones and learning like, oh, wait, this is how I can introduce. Oh, and it's just learning about all these types of businesses that you would have never learned anything about.
Yeah, and certainly, we do get a lot of tourists. So again, sometimes
Right.
I'm a talker. So sometimes I'll believe it or not get people in on their vacation getting Botox, and I'm such a talker. I'll be like, "Oh, have you done this? Oh, have you done that?" And now I can be like, "Oh, look at tasting tours," or various other things like Sabrage or things I didn't even know existed myself. But I like sharing that anyway. So
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, so now it's more people to share with.
Yeah, I love it too. Like it's been really fun because when I joined BNI last year, I was really new in business, right? And I really had never had my own business. I'd worked, my family's all own businesses, so I'm so used to helping them out. But like me making a name for myself, I was like, no one's gonna, it's never gonna be my own contacts. But now, like a year later, I've connected with so many different business owners in BNI and outside of BNI. I just get excited when I hear stuff. I'm like, wait, I think I know someone. I think I can help you. I think I want to do this introduction for you. Let me see. And I just get so excited to do all of that. And I would have never thought I would be like that when I first joined BNI.
Yeah, and I even like, especially like, well, regional stuff too, like the regional
Yes.
roundtables. Like I've connected with so many people. I was just on, calls yesterday with people I met at the regional roundtable, for health insurance stuff. And it's giving me all kinds
Oh.
of like, connections and ideas for like, when I'm launching like my things, I'll be like, oh yeah, well, I just know you from you and you need to be here with me. And it's just awesome. People I could have never found how I would connect with them before.
Mhm. It's because like you and I were not in the same BNI chapter, but we're both still able to meet and have a great one-to-one and find ways that we can help each other and refer each other and have each other in our contact sphere. And we're not even in the same like business sphere,
Right.
which if anyone's
Not even
familiar
in
with
the same
BNI,
chapter. Yeah,
yeah,
or sphere.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
like you're in health and wellness, I assume, and I'm in business services. And it's like one of those things where usually like, yeah, your sphere helps with referrals the most, but branching out is always so
But
fun.
branching out, because honestly, what do I know about business? I mean, we did not learn that in medical school. So, like, I need you guys.
I
This is
wanna
not something I can do naturally.
I get it, and I don't know the first thing about anything medical wise. Which I wanted to ask really quick, especially coming from something as like I would honestly say, like in my opinion, like maybe the hospital is like very rigid, right? Like you have to follow the specific routine, you have to
Yes.
follow like what the hospital is doing, you have to do all that. Versus now
Yes.
you own your own med spa and like your own business,
Right.
and you're really in charge of that. How are the differences? Or did you carry over some of the things that you learned from the hospital?
Definitely, definitely carried over. And I think that that's just medicine in general.
Mm,
We've grown up with protocols and studies and And so I've kind of carried that over. Same thing. Like, I don't launch anything without, having read 10 studies about it and attended a course. And, because I mean, even though you're right, I can do a lot of like what I want, I'm still wanting to provide the best, like what's
Right.
known to work. I don't do fluff, I don't do trends. So, like for example, with hair loss, I definitely dove in and was like, well, everybody's doing this PRP business. What's up with that? And before I go and launch our own lab in the back, to be doing that, is it even worth it? And the studies I read, it's like just as good as other things. So you don't have to do
Mm.
all that. But I mean, that's the kind of, I guess I've carried that through. Like I will research it, look at it, and then make protocols, based on what I'm reading.
That's awesome because I there are so many different trends, and I do think TikTok is probably the reason for a lot of things where people either just they see something and they get so enamored and like I need to do this right now, whether it's a DIY trend or it's a medical thing or this or that. Like surely so many people are getting it at the same time and it can't be bad. And I'm like, did you wait and see the results
Well,
though? Do you know
exactly.
what's
Like I'll
going
have
on?
people be like, I saw this device on TikTok. Like, isn't this what you do? I'm like, not even a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen
No,
like so many weird questions where they're like, "Is this really true? I saw this on TikTok. It surely should be true." And you're like,
no,
"No, no,
no,
we should probably wait." Because a very
no.
common thing is like I keep getting ads for like different types of things, but I see commonly like tattoo removal ads. But there's only the video of them taking it off, and then all the comments are like, "But what about like the healing? Like, can we see that?" Like unanswered. Like,
Oh,
so that's why you
no.
can't
Well,
trust random social media accounts, you know?
no. And certainly you probably wouldn't want to see that process because you're gonna scab. It's not pretty. You got to wait a month before you can do another treatment. Tattoo removal is not easy. It's just
No.
not. It's a class 4 laser, so anybody who says they can remove it without a class 4 laser, that's not at all true.
Well,
So
that's good
don't,
to know. I won't
yeah.
believe it.
Right.
It's crazy the amount of trust people will put into random things they see on social media. And I'm not saying stuff on social media can't be true, but obviously, like having some type of awareness yourself helps you make a more informed decision when it comes across the stuff that you see online.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because my boyfriend, for example, sent me something the other day. He was like, "Oh, this machine says it will do laser hair removal," and I was like, "Show me that because that can't be a home device. Because what we've got is a class 4 laser. Like, you have to have a certain like clearance and medical training to operate."
Right.
And so he sent it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, no, that's not no, no."
It's like I don't know, like the only thing I can think of is like when like an easy bake oven with like the light bulb and they're like you can definitely
Right.
make
Right.
make all of the stuff that you make in a real oven in this and it's like not really
No.
though. It
No.
takes
No.
like 30 hours and
Maybe in
it doesn't
100
taste
hours.
good. Yeah, like I remember when I was a kid I wanted an easy bake oven so bad, but my mom's like, "Why don't you just bake
Put it in the
in the
oven.
real oven and I'll watch you and I'll like make sure it's okay because obviously I was like 7. But I did get an easy bake oven and she was right. Like I think I got like a hand me down. It wasn't even like she wanted and I bought it. And I was like, wait, why is this not cooked? And she's like, because it's a light bulb. It's not
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. You're like, it's not hot.
I was so confused. I was like, this is batter. And she's like, yeah, that's because it's not working.
Right.
um,
Right.
but anyway, so Claudine, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. This has been a really fun episode. I know sometimes people think of medical stuff and they go, oh no, it's so boring. There's nothing fun there. There's nothing you're gonna learn. Like, I think this is one of my most fun episodes. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing some really great tips for me.
Well, I love teaching and sharing. So there you
You
go.
do a
It's
great
not
job.
boring. Not boring at
It's
all.
not at all. I don't think so. I think anything can be interesting as long as you have the right teacher. And clearly you're the right teacher. So there you go. Makes it
Aw.
easy. So I'll make sure of all of the description, in the description, all of her links that she mentioned and the phone number and everything that to reach out, see if anything makes sense to you guys and go and ask any questions. So Claudine, again, thank you so much for coming on. I really
And
appreciate
thank you
it.
for inviting. It was
Of
great.
course. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye.